It's the Wait a Minute Show.
Bruh, ain't that right, Lopan? Wait a minute. Book it. Really? Really?
The Wait a Minute Show with your host, Jolani J.B. Bodie.
What is up? What is up? What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your man, Jelani J.B. Bodie, host of this thing called The Wait a Minute Show, and it is on again here at The Wait a Minute Show, and we are ecstatic because it's the weekend, right? So everybody's chillaxing, everybody's chilling, everybody's really getting, their bellies ready, for what's coming next week. Yeah, we know the holidays is right around the week, and we cannot wait. So we got games on deck that's going to be up. So we're going to be talking about the my 3-pack NFL games that are must watch. I think I may surprise you with one of my picks, on that. And we're going to change it up a little bit, man. We're going to get into some fantasy football talk, right? Hey, it's getting close. The playoffs are almost on the way. Everybody's trying to vie for position and try and get themselves into a playoff spot. So I'm going to try and help you out, give you a little bit of advice from what I see. I have won a few, fantasy football championships and everything. So, it could help, on it. But we got other stuff that we're going to get talking about and real big right now. He's over there, and it's not really about him, but everybody give it up for Lopan.
Indeed.
Yeah, so Lopan is excited, and I'm excited. And the reason that we're excited is that it is official, ladies and gentlemen. It is officially official that the Wait a Minute Show toy drive is currently active, right? And this is year 10. Year 10. 10 years in this game of bringing joy to kids during the holiday season and getting these toys for them and everything, and what we do here at the Wait a Minute Show. So it's crazy how time flies. It just seems like we were just starting out, and now we're 10 years into this game, doing it. So it is going from November 18th to December 17th. And all you have to do is is right here behind me. You see the Wait a Minute Show .com, just thewaitaminuteshow.com, and you got your options of PayPal, Cash App, or you could do the GoFundMe, whatever way you want. It's real easy. You just click on the button and it takes you where you need to go. So we are trying to impact some kids. And for those who don't know, the reason why the Wait a Minute Show toy drive is so special is that not only do we get toys for the kids, we specifically target teenagers as well. Teenagers get forgotten a lot when it comes to the holiday season. A lot of people think, oh, they're so expensive, I can't afford a teenager. You're wrong. You're wrong. And we've proved that time in and time out. In 10 years, we've proved, or 9 years, and this will be the 10th year, that we're going to prove that wrong, is that you can still do something for a teenager. They're not as expensive as you think they are. And these are for kids, who won't, normally get something for the holiday season. So we go out there and try and make it. But I can't do it by myself. I got to have your help. So that's why you need to go to thewaitaminuteshow.com, man, and go and donate and everything, every single penny that comes through to the donation, it goes towards the kids. So we've done a ton of things, before: bikes, Xboxes, NBA players, meet and greets, basketball rims, TVs, gift cards and everything. You'll be surprised by, how many teenagers just say, hey, give me a gift card. I'm good. So I talked a lot about that because it is, really special to me. But let's go ahead and get into this sports topic and sports talk. So first thing up is past tense. The Green Bay Packers were defeated by the Tennessee Titans this past Thursday on Thursday Night Football, 27-17. So a little bit different in Lambeau Field. The Packers got booed, right? The Packers got booed. I mean, can you really believe that, Lopan?
Indeed.
Yeah, so they got booed, and I know what you Go ahead, just do it, Lopan. Go ahead, do it.
Boo this man!
Yeah, that's probably how Packer fans were feeling at that point. So it's like, where are we now with the Green Bay Packers to the point to where they're getting booed? Well, right now they're 4-7, right? And really probably should be 3-8 because they pulled off the win against the Dallas Cowboys. I think Dallas Cowboys really let them off the hook 2 weeks ago. In that game, they should have won that game, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. But they're 4-7 right now. So this whole thing about getting booed, they asked Aaron Rodgers. He said, it's unique and everything. Yeah, it is. Or I think he said something like it's different, and it is. But it's warranted. It's warranted. And here's why. I'm gonna tell you why. It's warranted because, look, this is no disrespect to these teams, but you let a young New York Jets team come into Lambeau Field and give you, the business, right? Then you go on the road. Even though it's a divisional opponent, I'm still going to give credit where credit is due, my Lions. But that's a game that normally Green Bay wins. And you lose a game to my Lions, which has been struggling, right? Then you come in and you lose another game at Lambeau Field, which is supposed to be, one of the toughest places to play against the Titans just this past week. So it loss after loss after loss. So look, there's been a lot of weeks, years, decades, if you will, that comes with the Green Bay Packers where there's a lot of cheering and everything, and deservedly so, for what they're doing. But they're not performing, right? They're not performing. 4-7 is not acceptable, as a Green Bay Packer fan. Now it's 1 year. I know, and because I talk about how Steeler fans be getting, on Mike Tomlin and everything as far as, the current situation that they're in. And it's like, don't overreact. But getting booed, look, you should be, I'm not going to say you should be winning these games or, but as far as like what you have established, every time the Green Bay Packers win games, fans go crazy. You start stinking up the place, you're going to get booed, right? That doesn't mean that they're going to, desert you or anything like that and move on and go find another team. But right now, it stinks and you're going to get booed, right? So the great part about it is that you get another opportunity this week or week 12, I should say, because you already played, but you're going to get another opportunity to come back out and then you play well and the fans will love you again. But yeah, it's happened to every organization. They boo people, all the time. So it's I even boo Lopan sometimes. Indeed. Yeah, I'll just come down here and boo Lopan, right? So let's move on and get into the NBA and this whole Giannis stuff, right? Giannis made the news just recently. I guess last night they took an L to the Philadelphia 76ers, right? And Giannis struggled at the foul line. So after the game, now they're on the road, but after the game, Giannis decides to take these extra shots, right? And two things happen, right? He got into a little bit of a verbal altercation with Montrezl Harrell, and then he also had some words with the staff members. And I'm just gonna say, it may not be maintenance man, but they were doing something with the rim. So rim man, I'll just say that rim man was, trying to get up on the ladder and work on something. And Giannis was shooting up shots and he basically, I guess, from the video, it looks like he told him like, look, man, I'm over here shooting, move that out the way and everything. So Giannis moves it. Rim man, is like, no, I'm going to move it back. And Rim Man moves it back, and Giannis comes over. He pushes that ladder over, right? So then on the other end, he's shooting, and Montrez takes the ball while he's shooting shots. And it looks like Montrez just telling him, hey, you need to bounce. You need to get off the court. So I don't know which one happened before the other one, because looking at the video, Rim Man was down there when Giannis was, with the situation with Montrez. So maybe the Montrez thing happened first before Rim Man. But here's what it is at the end of the day. Him and Montrez, that's something different. I'm going to talk about him and Rim Man, right? So you're on the road. You're not at home. You lost the game, and now you want to get these shots up. You're probably a little perturbed, and everything, and Rim Man is out there. But here's what I'm thinking. I defend NBA players a lot, but I'm not going to defend the NBA player on this one, right? Rim Man is probably saying, look, I got to get this thing fixed so I can go ahead and get up out of here, right? When the clock strikes 0, I don't get to go home like everybody else does, right? Like the fans and all that stuff. I still got stuff I need to do. So I need to go home. I need to finish this up so I can go home. I may got some other stuff, that's going on. The other thing is that Giannis, you're on the road, baby. You're not at home, right? And then you're in Philadelphia. Look, they just lost the World Series. They now are not undefeated anymore because they lost to the Washington Commanders. So they might be a little perturbed and not trying to hear, what you got to say. And at the end of the day, you missed those free throw shots. So look, it happened. You make the free throw shots, then you're not out there, right? Make the free throw shots. Right? Then you don't have that problem. I know that's real easy to say, coming from someone who hasn't played in the NBA, but it's just like, you got to understand, hey, yeah, I get it. But you're not at home. People got stuff to do. Hey, man, if you really want to get up those shots, wait till Rim Man is done. And then, you can go ahead and put up your shots. Right. So I think, with the whole Montrez thing, that probably did that. And here's what I'm going to say also. Right. Because people may try and vilify, Giannis and everything. Giannis is not perfect. Giannis is one of the nicest guys that you'll ever meet in the NBA. And he will always still be one of the nicest guys that because everyone says, he's one of the nicest guys. So I'm going off of what everybody else says. So he's one of the nicest guys that you're going to meet, in the NBA. It was a situation, right? Let's not drag it out. Let's not try and make Giannis to be something that he's not. He had a disagreement and all that stuff. He's going to move on, and he's going to be the same Giannis that we know, on it. So having said all that, I'm just speaking about this situation, this particular situation, that happened. I'm going to go with Rim Man on this one. And because if I was Rim Man, yeah, and he moves the letter, man, I'm moving that letter right back too. I'm like, bruh, I work here, right? I work here. You're a guest. But it was like, when he knocked over that ladder, blackout, it was crazy, on it. But I'm going to ride with Rim Man, on this one. Giannis will be all right. Everything will be all right. It's not that big of a deal, right? What is a big of a deal is the Wait a Minute Show toy drive. Yeah, I mentioned it again. You're going to hear me mention it a lot. But we're going to take a break, and then when we come back from the break, I'm going to get into my NFL 3-pack. Man, there's some 3 games that I think you need to be watching for Week 11. And like I said, I got one I think I'm going to surprise you with. So I'll see if I can do that. It's the Wait a Minute Show. We'll be back after some words.
It's the Wait
Do you want your next Atlanta event to be memorable? If so, have Drinking Color at your next function. Drinking Color is sophisticated bartending that creates signature cocktails for your special occasion. Wow your family, friends, and business associates next time with Drinking Color. You can contact the owner, Kiki Lewis, at 678-813-7102. That's 678-813-7102. You can also email her at drinkincolor@gmail.com and follow on Instagram at drinkincolor. And tell her you were referred by the Wait a Minute Show. Drinking Color, cocktail catering. Let the cocktail sparkle at your next event. Do you like making an impression? Who doesn't? Well, when you want to dress to impress for less, check out Rail Scott at Prime Ties to Go on Facebook and Instagram. Quality accessories for men and women at low, counted low prices. Everything from ties, bow ties, watches, bracelet, earrings to pocketbooks. Don't miss out. Check out Rail Scott, the owner, at Prime Ties to Go. That's Prime Ties, the number 2, Go, on Facebook and Instagram.
Breathe it in, ladies and gentlemen. The life, the joy, the Wait a Minute Toy Drive has officially begun. It is a great morning. Good morning, my neighbors!
Hey, freak you!
Yes, freak you too!
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and you listening to or watching, or if you're cooking or something, so you're listening while it's playing. But
It's the Wait a Minute Show.
yeah, so you saw it. You saw the promo. You saw what's going on. The Wait a Minute Show toy drive. TheWaitAMinuteShow.com. Just go to the web page. TheWaitAMinuteShow.com. TheWaitAMinuteShow.com, man, and help your boy out, man. We sponsor kids. We specifically sponsor kids and get them what they want off their wish list for the holidays. So check it out, man. Coming to America for those who don't know. Coming to America for those who do not know. But as you see, below here, we got some games that's coming up for week 11, right? So let's go ahead and get into it. And I get into my 3-pack for must-watch games coming up for week 11 in the NFL. So I'm going to start first with the Dallas Cowboys versus the Minnesota Vikings. Dallas is 6-3. Minnesota is 8-1 off of that phenomenal game that they just had against the Buffalo Bills, which was a crazy game, and I guess game of the year, people will say. I can't argue with them. So in this game is in Minnesota, right? Minnesota has been pulling off these wins, holding on, coming back, and now Dallas. Dak has been in the driver's seat for a few weeks now, so you're expecting Dallas really to really get it going, right? Expecting to really get it going. They've been doing this without Zeke. We don't know if he's going to play. He might play, this week, but Tony Pollard's been doing, an excellent job. But defense has been playing, well as well as of late. So can their defense slow down Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook? That's going to be the biggest thing. Can they make Kirk Cousins revert back to some of the things that Kirk Cousins used to do and make the mistakes that he used to make in the past? Because right now Kirk Cousins is doing this, he's doing this thing, right? So on Minnesota side, can they get a game where they put together a game where the heart is not just beating at the end, and it's just like I feel like I shaved some time off my life. It just put together a consistent game from beginning to end, and it's not going to be easy because Dallas is not going to be a pushover. But I do think Dallas versus Minnesota is going to be a game to watch. My second game that I have on here is the 7-2 Kansas City Chiefs against the 5-4 LA Chargers. Right, this is a divisional game. The reason I put this game as well is that the Chargers are going to get Mike Williams back. They may get Keenan Allen back, so that's going to be something that will help them out tremendously because they've been playing without Keenan Allen for a long time. And then they lost Mike Williams for a few weeks. So Mike Williams is back in. If Keenan Allen can get back into this mix, along with, Austin Eckler, Gerald Everett is a little banged up. So we'll see, on him. I think he still will play, but they'll be at full go, at least on the offensive side of the ball. And they'll have some offensive firepower if they can get Keenan Allen back. So I'm interested in seeing, this game for that reason alone. Pat Mahomes, that reason alone I want to see. Now, on their side, they don't have Juju Smith-Schuster. He's out with a concussion, and Mecole Hardman is on IR with the injury. So there's going to be a lot of, more focus put on Travis Kelce, but they just traded for a guy that probably can really help alleviate some of that pressure that the offense is going to be looking at, and that is Kadarius Toney. He played really well last week, so we'll see what happens, in that mix. But look, Pat Mahomes has been able to, figure things out with, even with guys that are out. So, and it's a divisional game. So AFC West, I just think this is going to be a one to watch. They've had pretty good games the last 2 times that they've played. So check that game out. I think that's a Sunday night game. I think it just passed by on the ticker. So that is a Sunday night game, to check out. So my last game that I'm going to tell you, and it may be a bit of a shocker, and I'll tell you why that I picked this, but I got the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, I didn't stutter. Yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Indianapolis Colts. The 4-5-1 Indianapolis Colts and the 8-1 now Philadelphia Eagles. And the reason that I have this, what I want to see, because we talked all this stuff about Jeff Saturday and taking over and everything, and he goes in here and they beat the Las Vegas Raiders, and it was funny because he put out a tweet I think a week or 2 before all this stuff happened about the the Vegas Raiders looking horrible and everything, and now he plays them and he beats them. So everybody is really getting on the Raiders. The Raiders have struggled this year. They have struggled mightily. I think they're 2-7 or something like that. So they got to get, and it's not a cupcake game or anything like that, but they got a game against a team that's struggling. Now I really want to see how Indianapolis is going to respond and how Indianapolis is going to play. Playing one of the best teams in the league right now, but 2, for the simple fact of you're playing a team that just lost their first game against the Washington Commanders, a divisional foe. So they're going to be a little perturbed and they're going to be a little ticked off. And they added some guys just this past week, and Linville Joseph and Ndamukong Suh. We don't know how much that they'll play, but it's just now let's see what happens, playing against one of these teams, and how the Indianapolis Colts respond and how Jeff Saturday handles, all that. It's not just him, there's the coaching staff as well. But I think that's a game, to pay attention to just check out. It'll just be interesting to see how it is. It's just like, look, we played one of the, teams that's struggling right now. Now we're going to play one of the, toughest teams, in the league. So we're going to be able to compare ourselves and test ourselves. And we'll see what happens. Now, if Jeff Saturday wins this game, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. At that point, he's going to be like, yeah, that's me, baby. That's me. So check it out. What was it? Dallas versus Minnesota, KC versus the Chargers. What I was talking about is coaches on the hot seat, right? That's what we're going to talk about next. Coaches on the hot seat. So there's a lot of, I guess coaches that, some that have already been, fired, but there's some that might be on the little bit of a warm seat, if you will. So I think the person that is probably on the hottest seat in the NFL right now, I'm going to say it's Arizona's head coach, Cliff Kingsbury, right? They sit at 4-6. Am I right on that low pen? Yeah, 4-6. I'm just checking my notes. So they're 4-6 right now. And there's games that it just seems like they shot themselves in the foot, right? It's games that it seems like they, should have won, but they didn't. They didn't have DeAndre Hopkins for the first 6 games, but hey, it is what it is. They don't stop playing the games. But they're 1-3 in the division, right? And they got this game against the San Francisco 49ers, which is going to be a tough, matchup for them. They just beat the Rams. That helps out, and that was their first win, in the division. So they only got 2 more games left, and they're both against the San Francisco 49ers. So they're going to need these to finish at least 500 in the division. But you need those, and you're going to need some other, other wins. So I just think with where they were a playoff team previously, and now they're a team that doesn't look like they're going to make the playoffs. It doesn't seem like, everything is, coming together. Cliff Kingsbury is going to have 1 year left on his contract. They could make a move sooner than later with him. I think it's going to take making the playoffs and winning a playoff game. That's asking, a lot. Could he get through this? Yeah, possibly. But we're just talking about who's on the hottest seat, right? Who's on the hottest seat? And to me, it's Cliff Kingsbury, at this point, because you got a lot of talent on that Arizona Cardinals team, and it's not happening. It's not happening for them. And at some point, they're gonna start looking at the coach and everything. We don't want that to happen, of course. But if you're asking me, out of everybody that's in the league right now, whose seat is the hottest, I'm going to say Cliff Kingsbury. But these last few games, they're going to be able to, at least try and change the narrative. Like I said, they got a win against the Rams, so you always want to get a divisional win. So if they can put together something, maybe, things change. But I do think it's going to be a playoff win. That would just help out to make what I'm saying is to make everything go away, for everything to cool off, completely is that. But he still could be there, next year. But right now that seat, I think, is the hottest that's out there, right? It's hot. So let's take one more break, and I'm going to give you some fantasy football advice, right? Plain and simple, quick and easy. There's one player that if you got this person, they shouldn't be available at this point. But if you got this person and you're thinking about, should I play him or not? I'm going to tell you if you should, right? So we'll be back after some more info.
Do you like making an impression? Who doesn't? Well, when you want to dress to impress for less, check out Rail Scott at Prime Ties to Go on Facebook and Instagram. Quality accessories for men and women at low prices. Everything from ties, bow ties, watches, bracelet, earrings to pocketbooks. Don't miss out. Check out Rail Scott, the owner, at Prime Ties to Go. That's Prime Ties, 2, Go, on Facebook and Instagram.
Do you want your next Atlanta event to be memorable? If so, have Drinking Color at your next function. Drinking Color is sophisticated bartending that creates signature cocktails for your special occasion. Wow your family, friends, and business associates next time with Drinking Color. You can contact the owner, Kiki Lewis, at 678-813-7102. That's 678-813-7102. You can also email her at drinkandcolor@gmail.com and follow on Instagram at drinkandcolor. And tell her you were referred by the Wait a Minute Show. Drinking Color, cocktail catering. Let the cocktail sparkle at your next event.
Breathe it in, ladies and gentlemen. The life, the joy, the Wait-A-Minute Joy Drive has officially begun. It is a great morning. Good morning, my neighbors!
Hey, freak you!
Yes, freak you too!
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back again. You're going to hear me talk about this for the next month. All right. So you're going to see this face multiple times, and you're going to hear me talk about this. The Wait a Minute Show toy drive. You just saw it. Man, go to the waitaminuteshow.com, the waitaminuteshow.com to donate now, man. It doesn't matter the amount, and I literally mean that. $1, $2, $5, it all adds up. If we all join forces, we form Voltron and we become a force. And that force will help out some kids this holiday season, man. All right. So tell a friend, tell a coworker, tell a relative, tell whoever it is that you got to tell. Tell an enemy, call a truce right now, and just say, look, we got to help some kids at this point. Go to the waitaminuteshow.com, man, and click on your options: PayPal, Cash App, or GoFundMe. It's up to you. So, fantasy football, right? Got this week 11, who you going to play, who should you play, and all this stuff. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you got this player on your roster, go ahead and play him. So my delivery of the week, right? My delivery, like, look, this person is going to come through regardless, right? It's not Pat Mahomes. It's not, Christian McCaffrey. No. We're not going to do that. Now, this person could get to that status pretty soon where they're at. But if you got Kadarius Toney, wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, man, make sure he is in your roster. On your roster, in your starting lineup. That's what I should say. If he's on your roster, put him in your starting lineup. One, at the wide receiver position, Juju Smith-Schuster and Mecole Hardman is out. So you got two wide receivers that's out. You still got Travis Kelce, who's going to command a lot of attention. And Kadarius Toney could be that relief for Pat Mahomes. Or actually, he will be that relief. He scored last week. He did his thing last week. I think he's going to do even more this week. No one has ever questioned his talent. It's just, he's had some things with health, and everything. So it looks like he's ready to go. And Pat Mahomes will definitely get him the ball. So I'm gonna do you even solid right now. I'm gonna give a prediction. Right? I'm gonna say that Kadarius Toney puts out 102 yards in receiving. Yeah, 102 yards receiving, and two touchdowns. So if you got Kadarius Toney and you're thinking about, what, should I play him? Should I not play him? Make sure you play Kadarius Toney. Make sure you play Kadarius Toney. That's all I'm gonna say, right? Let's see. I just looked at the chat. Jay Evans is in here talking about Jeff Saturday buy Chick-fil-A meals on Sunday. For anybody that got a Chick-fil-A, you know what that's all about. Just so rude. Mean. So I'm not Jay, you're not gonna get me in trouble, on this show. So I'm gonna move on. So the last thing I'm gonna talk about before I get out of here, we talked about Thursday Night Football and the Packers getting booed, and they lost to the Titans. Well, that win for the Titans might cost OC, or offensive coordinator Todd Dowling, some time or some money or something, because he was arrested for suspicion of DUI after they won that game. So it's just like, you win the game on Thursday night, you fly back to Tennessee, and then you get arrested for suspicion of DUI. That's not a good thing. It's not a good thing, at all, because there's speculations as far as if he was drinking on the plane, because there was just a situation that happened with the Washington Commanders where there were some penalties given out for someone that was on the plane drinking. So it's like, that's a no-no. That's a big no-no in the NFL, to where you can't be doing that. You can't do it on a bus. You can't do it on a plane and everything. So the NFL is looking into it. Hey, this should be a lesson learned from anybody, not just other coaches and everything, players, anybody that's in the NFL. It's not worth it. Don't do it. Things, I don't understand. So I'm sure more, will come out, from it if there is, some type of punishment, from it. But if this is true, it's just like, wow, like you flew, drank, then drove, all in a matter of hours, so not a good thing. It's an example out there for people, to pay attention to and just say, look, hey, it's not worth it, on it. So coaches get held to higher standards than the players. And you got to set the, example as well for the team, because if you're out there doing, stuff like that, then sometimes your players are going to be like, well, I can do it, too. Now, look, we Titans just like, look, we're in a good spot right now. We don't need any distractions. And this could be a distraction for them. So we'll see what, happen. So normally what I would do, I would give out a Big L award or a Big Loser award. But I'm not going to do that this week. And that's because we launched the Wait a Minute Show toy drive and all that stuff. So we're not going to ask people to donate and then come out here and call somebody a loser, at least this week. Right. So maybe next week we might do something, like that. But I am going to go ahead and have Lopan kick the music, get us out of here. Hey, Lopan, did you find the music? Okay. I'm going to look at, look, it's right there. Right there. I'm looking at it. Right. There you go. There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get out of here, man. Big thing I'm going to tell you, man, enjoy the rest of your weekend, right? It's a short week for a lot of people coming up this next week, right? Because Thanksgiving is on the cusp. And be safe, be careful out there, man. Enjoy the NFL games that's tomorrow, but enjoy the ones that's coming up for the holiday. Be careful for Black Friday if you go out. Try and use the internet, instead. But get ready, because the season is changing, right? The environment is changing. The vibe is changing, right? And it's really positive right now. So keep that positive vibe that's going on and continue it further than the rest of the year. Carry it over into 2023, 2024, 2025, and so on, right? Do not lose the vibe. Do not mess up the vibe, as Kendrick Lamar would say. So take that positive vibe, man, and finish strong this year and moving into next year and beyond that. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, man. Again, the Wait a Minute Show toy drive. Make sure you just go to the waitaminuteshow.com, man, and check it out. But for your man, Jelani JB Bodie, host of this thing called the Wait a Minute Show, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, man. Two things as always. Stay positive and push forward. And I'll holler at y'all later. Lopan, can you get us out of here? Thank you.